Hey YouTube, welcome back to another English review here at Thomas Opent. It's been a while since I did an English one. Life's been a little bit hectic, not necessarily in a bad way, but you know, things have been a bit busy and so yeah, reviewing in English just it got a little bit sidetracked, but I again try to promise and do a little bit more of them. So yeah, anyway, like you guys know, when I do a English review, I try to go for Dutch breweries or maybe European breweries that aren't readily available outside of the Netherlands and Europe, so people across the world can get a little bit of an idea of what we have, what we brew, what we drink. And one of the beers that I've been interested in for a while now is this one by Vandestreek. It's their Hazy Hopart IPA. It's a variation of one of their core beers called Hopart, which they label as a session IPA. Although with 5% ABV, session is debatable. Personally, I can still consider that sessionable. Although usually when I think about sessionable, I go through like 3.5%, 4% ABV. But they changed the recipe a little bit. The normal Hopart is 65 IBUs. This one doesn't actually have an IBU on the can, I believe, but they did say they dialed down the bitterness and, or anyway, they placed it to dry hop for a more intense citrus aroma. So they changed the recipe up a little bit, and I'm guessing it's going to be hazy, as the label sort of shows. It's 5% ABV, so that hasn't changed from the normal version. Doesn't have a can on date, but the expiration date is 6/6/2020, so I'm assuming this one is okay, so it's not super fresh. It's about 2 months old, but you know, it's fresh enough, I feel. By the way, if you think like, why is the camera quality a little bit different? My phone that I always use to film my reviews had an update recently, and the camera's a bit foobarred. They're working on it. They promised an update will be coming soon, but you know how that stuff is. Soon usually depends on what they feel is soon. So I went back to my older phone to film my reviews for the time being. So just should still be doable. Anyway, back to the beer. Yeah, Vandestreek, they brew everything. They go from like 0.5, like 0.5% ABV fruited sours and a 0.5% ABV India Pale Ale, basically alcohol free, all the way up to 10, 12, 11, 12% Imperial barrel aged stouts. So they run the gamut really. And they're one of my favorite Dutch brewers. Started off as a few guys brewing at home in their kitchen. They're now one of the big players here. And yeah, I'm really curious about this one because just very quickly, I had the normal Hopart not that long ago. My nephew brought it along, and it turns out that the store he bought it from, they forgot to check the expiration dates, and the ones we had were more than half a year past the expiration date. So go figure. Those talk about oxidation. It was insane. They really were not drinkable. We had to pour them down the drain. But it did make me curious about a decent version. So yeah, when I saw this one in one of my favorite stores in Groningen, I had to bring it along. What am I expecting? Well, with Cascade, Columbus, and Citra in this, I am expecting lovely citrus aromas, a light haze, probably not as, you know, well, actually, when you look at this, you know, that ain't too shabby. That is hazy. It's got this lovely white foamy head that's slowly dissipating a little bit. If the dry hop was pretty intense, you know, you can get those hoppy oils in there, and it means your head on the beer can dissipate pretty quickly. It's a thing you see in a lot of those double dry hopped IPAs. Anyway, doesn't say anything about double dry hop. It just said dry hop. It looks the part. It's a hazy IPA. It looks a little bit like, you know, it's this sort of mango-y, yeah, mango-y puree color. It looks beautiful. Let's just go to the nose and see what we can find. So yeah, that's citrus for days. That's got a big citrus component, but not just like your, you got a little bit of this, the lemon thing going on, but there's a lot of tangerine in this. I feel lots of tangerines. And definitely a little bit of orange. Also picking up on your usual stone fruits, you know, you got your little bit of peach, mango going on. Yeah, it smells the part. It smells the part. It smells like a lovely, recently relatively low ABV, 5% ABV IPA. The sweet spot for an ABV for IPAs for me is 6 to 8%. Usually I find the 5% sometimes a little bit lacking in mouthfeel and body. By the way, getting quickly to the mouthfeel part, this one has, of course, barley, but also wheat and oat. So we should be getting a relatively decent mouthfeel, I think. I'm really hoping that the wheat is going to come through nicely, because I do love those wheated IPAs, especially if they got a nice, a bit of that astringency going on from the wheat. I love that. Really curious about it. Anyway, let's go into the tasting. Cheers, guys. So yeah, quickly getting back to the mouthfeel part. With 5% ABV, this is not gonna go anywhere close to thick or few fruit puree levels of mouthfeel. But it's soft. It's got a slight creaminess isn't the wrong word, but it does have a density to it. It's not watery. It's not thin. It's got a lovely soft little mouthfeel. It does have that little bit of chalk in the back end, which you get in some of those hazy IPAs, but it's not bothersome. It's not overtly present that it's a problem. Taste-wise, flavor-wise, yeah, again, it does have a lovely citrus component. Not so much the lemons here, really the orange and the tangerine. Very big on the tangerine, with a lovely peach and mango component to it. This really stone fruit component. This really is, one of the better hazy, low ABV IPAs from the Netherlands that I've had in quite a while. You really need to step up your game to impress me with an IPA, because it's not my favorite style. Of course, I review them. I review them and I drink them. I drink them because I do enjoy them. I review them because people like to see IPAs in reviews. Let's be honest about it. But when you make a nice hazy, low ABV refreshing IPA that has loads of flavor like this one does, and is very decently priced. I think this was around €3, just over €3, I think. I mean, you could spend a tenner, you get 3 cans, and that's lovely for a barbecue. If you're the only one drinking. Sometimes when I go to my parents, or my parents when I go to family, I don't mind bringing my own beers, because I haven't done that in a while, but I don't mind bringing my own beers, because not a lot of people will go for this. And for a tenner, I can have 3 lovely IPAs at a barbecue, and don't get hammered. So it's intensely crushable. Crushable is definitely the right term for this beer. It's got a decent amount of bitterness. It's not super bitter. Again, with the soft chalk in the back. I think I would give this, if I had to rate this, somewhere between 3.75 and 4. Nearing a 4, like a 3.9. It's not reinventing the wheel when it comes to a hazy IPA, but it does really do it very well. And for me, that's all I really want from a good 5% chuggable IPA. So yeah. Kudos to Vandestreek. I'm starting Vandestreek. I'm Dutch. I can say Vandestreek. I don't have to go like old English American going Vandestreek. Kudos to them for just making a highly crushable hazy IPA. Loads of flavor. And I'm betting, since, like I said, it's 2 months old, get this a week, 2 weeks, it'll definitely pop a little bit more without being too intense. And I like that. Hazy Hopart from Vandestreek review. That's it. There's a fly. I hate flies. I think you can see it. That stupid fly. You gotta love the summer. Yeah, review done and done. That was it. If you guys like the review, click like. If you liked the review a lot, hit subscribe. Drop a note, leave some comments. If you're from the Netherlands, or maybe if you're not from the Netherlands, wherever you're from, Have you had Vandestreek? Have you had Hazy Hopart? Maybe the regular Hopart? What did you feel? What did you think? Is it one of the better IPAs you've ever had, or did you find it lacking maybe? For those outside of the Netherlands, very curious. Have you ever had any Dutch IPAs? Which are your favorite ones? Very curious to hear about that. In the subscription link, in the comment box. Wow, I'm really on fire, aren't I? In the comment box below the video, you'll find links to my social media and a link to the Dutch Beer Collective, a little website where three Dutch beer reviewers, myself of course, and Dutch Beer Geek and Beer Geek Holland come together, where you can find all of our reviews, you can find links to all of our social media, and yeah, go check that out. It's in Dutch, but I think you'll get the vibe of it. Yeah, and I hope to see you in another review. Cheers.